It's a massive week in the markets. It's an M week. Meta's reporting earnings, and so is another M company, Microsoft. And we're going to take a look at what potentially can happen from a technical perspective with Microsoft in today's Courage Pays Better Than Fear Mini. Check it out. All right, so here is Microsoft on the daily chart. And let's take a look at these technical levels to get a feel for what potentially can happen tomorrow when they report earnings, April 30th, the last day of the month. And again, like we've been talking about, and if you watch the meta video that I put together for earnings, we have this double bottom pattern that's really on the majority of tickers out there, especially the Mag 7, big tech. And we can see that we have this neckline right here where we are today. And notice that we are facing a bit of resistance here today. Right at that neckline, you could see that upper wick on that candle. And where are we getting rejected today? Right near that upper wick. And if we can get a close above that, then that confirms this pattern and potentially we can move higher. But what's been consistent in looking at these double bottom patterns is there is quite a bit of resistance that is above these patterns. And there's quite a bit here above Microsoft. And we can see here, if we're just looking at the simple moving averages, we have the 100 SMA on the daily up here at 407, which is a decent ways away from where we are right now. At the time I'm recording this, Microsoft is at 393.46. And should it break this 100, then you have room up to the 200, which is going to be around 413.65. And if it can break that, you have this 50 simple moving average on the weekly for 1620. So we have three key areas of resistance that if it can break them, it's going to be above all of its significant longer term moving averages. And then from there, if it can get above all of those, it does have room back up to all-time highs. Now, all-time highs on Microsoft, this was made last July 5th, it got up to 465.43. But something I've been saying about Microsoft for some time is really since January, or really November of 2003, this thing has just kind of moved sideways. So pressure has been building. And you have to wonder if it's due for an explosive move on earnings. And the other reason I say that is because the last 6 times that Microsoft has reported, they have either gapped down or gapped up and faded down. So they're due for a move that pops and holds. And we just haven't seen it in quite some time. So let me just go back through the last few times it's reported earnings. So here was January, big gap down. Let's go back to October, big gap down. So 2 in a row. Let's go back to, this is July, this summer, gap down. Let's go back to, this was April of last year. Gap up, fade down. Let's go back to January 24, gap down. If we go to October of 2023, this one gapped up, but faded down. We keep going back. This is January or July of 23, gap down. You got to go ways back here to April of 2023, where it had a gap up that it was able to hold. And this move here from close to close was about a $19 move. So is this something that we could see tomorrow? Again, I'm a big believer in probabilities in the market. And the fact that Microsoft has not been able to hold on to a move for quite some time, you have to wonder if this earnings report will be the one. Let's just take a look here on the weekly and see what we have. Again, just some nice consolidation sideways movement. We do have a hammerish type candle above that 100 simple moving average on the weekly and above that weekly 10-day exponential moving average. And when we take a look at the monthly, that is a beautiful hammerish bullish candle, good volume coming in. So potentially Microsoft could be getting ready for a move. And so again, just think about those probabilities. It hasn't hit in quite some time. It can, it's got a lot of trash that it's got to work through above it, but probabilities may play out in Microsoft's favor this earnings report. So that's going to do it for the Microsoft earnings preview. What do you think? Gap up or gap down for Microsoft? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Microsoft does gap up. It finally pushes higher and holds, and it sets off a little bit of a run for Mag 7 since they've been beat up for quite some time, and the rest of big tech. And that's going to do it for this Courage Pays Better Than Fear mini. And make it a great day. Take care, everyone.